Where's the story of when and why you decided to start a company?
Oh,
also
boy.
an easy decision and journey, right?
Yes. So I was a consultant at the port, went back to Peru. My mom got sick. So we sold everything. We went to Peru. We came back with an offer at the port as a PA employee. So that was the opportunity for us to come back to the U.S. We came back to the U.S. and I told my wife, I don't believe I'm going to be here for that long. She's like, what do you mean? I said, it's just my gut feeling, I guess. I'm going to be here 3, 4, 5 years. She's like, all right, whatever. So 2017, I told my wife, I believe it's time for me to fly alone. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't feel I am using all my capability at the port, and I need to do this by myself. And she's like, okay. And I was like, that easy? I was kind of afraid. I mean, to your point.
Yeah.
And she's like, sure. And I was like, she didn't work at the time. Okay. So she was like, sure. And I was like, did you actually hear what I said? I'm going to quit and start something on my own. And she's like, yeah, I heard that. And why so easy? I cannot cut your wings. That's what she said. Because then you're going to regret not doing it. And I look at her and said, you just say something that my dad used to say. You always in your life, I believe you have to do stuff so you don't look back and say, what if I did not?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, fine, I'm going to quit. And I quit. And I started PDBM. So
yeah, you hear that very often from, I follow and try to learn from other successful entrepreneurs, business owners. You hear that a lot is like, that question of you don't want to get to the end of your career and go, what if I tried that thing?
And that is something, to be honest with you, that is something that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I will rather do it and fail and learn.
Yeah.
And if I have to go and, I don't know, deliver pizzas or Uber or whatever,
at least you tried.
At least I try.
Yeah.
I can go to bed every single night and say, all right, I give it a shot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's, I think that fear is what holds most people back from trying something that is not the normal.
I'm pretty sure.
Because I often, think there's a lot of people I come across that have never thought about entrepreneurship or starting their own business and sometimes you find people that you're like, you should be.
Right. I totally agree.
You're very passionate. You're a very hard worker. You want to.
And on my way here, actually, I was thinking about exactly that a lot of people might be good at starting their own businesses, but there's a lot of factors that you need to consider. Of course, if you have kids,
many.
In my case, was risky. I was the only one working.
Yeah.
So that make it more difficult for me to say, all right, something goes wrong. My wife is still making some money. All right.
No.
So
I had the same story. I was, I had a third kid on the way.
Okay.
And I was in the best job I'd ever had, but I got so excited about the technologies where, again, similar to what you shared in your story, like I felt like I wasn't using everything that I could. I wanted to help more people. I wanted to try different jobs. I wanted to try it in different industries. Right. And it was like, I have to quit. I'm so excited about what I want to do and what I think I can do.
And I don't care
I can't do it somewhere else.
Right.
But there was also the naiveness of like, oh yeah, just do it.
Right.
There was
how?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How? So, and at that time, I was the BIM director of the Port Authority. I was making good money.
Yeah.
My health insurance was awesome.
Yeah.
So, everything was like for me to stay there for the next 20 years, I guess.
Comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I wasn't feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
So, I said, it's time to pull the trigger, I guess.
And I think that's what it takes for people to build something successful. There's a lot of stats of people who go out and do a startup within the first few years close, right? And I think that is usually because of a couple things. One is misaligned expectations.
Right.
A lot of people think that starting your own thing is the dream, right? You're going to make way more money and you're going to retire early and you work 4 hours a day, not 8, I think that many people today because of what, and maybe it's partially from content and social, and you see these influencer, you see all the stories of like, I built $1 billion app, Oh, that's what entrepreneurship
and
is.
I'm 22 years old.
No.
And
Yeah, that's the one, 0.0001%, somebody has that idea that becomes this big lucky thing.
Sure.
Most of the time, starting a business, you're working way harder, you're working way longer, you're taking on a lot of risk. You're dealing with so many more challenges,
and the responsibility of the people that you have
all of
in
it.
your team.
All of it. There's a lot of cons to starting
absolutely.
it. I think that's why most businesses fail or close, is really just that expectation misalignment. But the other thing that I think drives a successful business is when you're starting it from, similar stories to both of us, is you're starting it from, you are so passionate about what you do, and you love the work you're doing, and you want to do it even more, and you want to help in a different way that you feel like you can't do wherever it is that you're employed. That passion lets you start something that's what carries you through the difficulties, the unknown, the risk.
So years ago, a client of mine told me this, that it got stuck in my head still. He said, I was selling them my services. So he was like, you are very passionate about this. And I was like, yes, I love what I do. And I was like, why? Well, and he replies, this is the stuff that got stuck in my head. And he replies, when you are passionate about something, people can tell. When you are not passionate about something, people can tell even more.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you might be right.
That's true.
So, but yeah, and going back to what you mentioned about working, everybody on my team knows that from midnight or 10 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, cell phones need to be at least in no bother me mode.
Yes.
Because I wake up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, my head starts going in circles. I go downstairs and start working, shooting emails and text messages and things to everybody. So in my team, they actually give me a hard time because, Jorge was actually yesterday, he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So, but
yeah.
that's what happens.
The life of a founder.